So this is the part-time project. All is set for this morning's concrete work. The materials are here. The concrete mixer is here. Our tube to pump the concrete to is also set. We are ready to start with the concrete work. So as we progress, I'll give you more video. So this is just the beginning of this morning's work.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the part-time project once again. If it's your first time here on the channel, my name is Elgigogh, and the voice you just heard was Pele, who is our quantity surveyor, also acting as the supervisor for the part-time project, right? So we are still at the decking phase, and in our previous episode, which was episode 6, we started with the decking work, the steel works, the plumbing and electrician and electricals. Today we begin with the concrete casting, which is the overside concrete casting, which is what you are seeing today. If it is your first time you're seeing this project and you are curious how we got here, I have created a playlist called the part-time project. If you go to my playlist, you can see it there, or if you wait till the end of today's episode, you see the link on your screen. You can type on it, and then you see how we started all the way from the foundation till this phase. Actually, we've moved very fast. We've skipped some of the process because, like I said, this year the projects are a lot, and if we should repeat all of them, it's going to be the same thing on the channel, and we want to see something else, right? So we are moving fast with most of our projects now. But like I said, if there's something pops up and we want to share, we will come and explain those things. Like, for example, using the self mixture, right? You can see you have less labor, right? Before, you have to get people who will be fetching the stones. You have people who will be fetching the sand, water, everything. This machine, you have one operator who goes to fetch the stones himself, fetch the sand himself, and does the mixing. And then you don't need to rent the machine and everything. The self-loader does all the work, but you only need some few people to make sure that the concrete gets into the right places and all of that, right? So that is what we are using. We use this machine all the way from the foundation. So if you want to see how it operates on the ground, you can go to my first episode. In my first episode, you can see how it moves and loads itself. People ask if we are renting it or stuff, but no, it is not for rentals at the moment, because like I said, the works are a lot of work. This machine is always busy, right? So there's a lot of construction going on, so it is not for rent. But I think it is a very someone can use it as a business if you can find it. I think it's more in China, right? So if you can find it, you can make business out of it, right? I have a lot of people asking me if it is for rent and stuff. So I think the market is there for this self mixture, right? So if anybody is interested, you can look online and check out the price if it is worth it. But I think it is a good investment, especially for those that are into construction. You can buy it and rent it out. I'm going to put a link, or I will put how you can find this thing and more details about it on the screen, so you can take your time and do your research and all of that. So you can see now it's just pouring the cement in there. All you need is the right ratio, right? And I think that the machine also, it is being set to take the right amount of stones and then the sand, so if there's any excess, it doesn't go through. So it is also a smart machine, right? I think we have to make a separate video for that machine itself, right? So back to the decking floor. So if you are planning to put up your dream house here in Ghana, and you are looking for a solid team, that can help you bring that dream into reality, I think you should consider Gigo Production Group. We have, all the way from designing your, dream house for you, building it, finishing it, and all of that. So, if you go to my playlist, you see a lot of projects that we have started. Most of it we've got into, the structural work.
Yeah, so this is the Phantom project. As you know, after this custom, we now proceed to do the setting because the owner want to have extra, so he bought extra blocks onto the side. We use follow, and people is testing about it. But we know the structures are what is carrying the building. It is only partitions. The walls are partitions. The structures are what is carrying the building. So after the owner buys some surpluses on site. Unfortunately, security around that area is very tight, so we are fortunate to have those on site. So we decide to use it to do these settings, as you can see around here. So you can see the divisions of the rooms and whatever we.
So that was Engineer Sally for you with the block work update, right? So we are doing the setting out of the second level, right? This is where we have most of the various rooms, office and stuff. This structure is we'll go for another decking, which is going to be the penthouse. So it's 3 levels, which is the ground floor, the first floor, which is where we are at the moment, and then we will have one more, which is going to hold like a penthouse and a rooftop and all of that, right? So we still have, more work to do, but we have our own strategy that we are using, with this project. Our block works goes much faster than when it comes to the concrete casting and all that. If you watch my previous, I would say, yeah, my previous video, right? The block work, it always goes faster, right? Because we plan ahead, the owner plans ahead. Anytime he has little money, he buys the block work and put it down. And whilst we are waiting for the bigger picture, which is like concrete casting and all that, you can be buying some of these materials on site, put them down, whilst you are preparing for the bigger. Because if you want to, finish with one complete heavy phase in construction, which is more with decking, the price of block will still be going high anyway. So, if you can, you just get those blocks on site, like the sand, the stones. Yeah, it took us a whole 4 months, right, before we were able to do this decking. So within these 4 months, the owner was preparing for the decking at the same time, was buying blocks on site. So it makes the work easier for you to come back and continue, right? So, that is it with this project. Like I always share, my strategies, the tips of building a house. I know it sometimes takes longer, but in a way, you see that you move a little bit with the pace, and it doesn't stress you so much, right, in building. So as I always say, we should take our time to build. And these breaks are very necessary. It is important that you have these breaks to review, your plan, walk through the space. We don't have the block for this structure, right? So this is the end of it. So the owner has to come, walk through the space, see if there's any changes. Sometimes what you put on drawing, when it comes to in real life, you might have some changes to do. So these are some of the things, which you need the breaks for, right? So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode. Like it.